Doma Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, a little lightweight news, lightweight on the little lightweight to junior welterweight kind of news. We haven't been hearing a lot lately, and for my taste, a little bit too much about Gervonta Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Now, Ryan Garcia is they're both good. Tank Davis has been a champion at 130. A regular champion, which is not really a champion at 135, and a regular champion, which is not really a champion at 140, right? But Gervonta Tank Davis is a little more accomplished. Ryan Garcia is kind of a guy that's a media guy. I'm hearing he has so many Instagram followers and stuff like that. Very charismatic entertainer. So he's pretty good at that part of the game, and he's a good boxer. Now, but we're hearing too much about this fight. I think the people that I see every now and then, because I can't watch too many boxing videos, but the ones I watch, I'm kind of seeing a lot of titles with Gervonta Davis and your boy Ryan Garcia, and I'm thinking, like, Ryan Garcia was talking the same stuff 2 years ago before his depression, and after beating, I think, Luke Campbell. He's the mandatory for Devin Haney, right? And he keeps talking about Gervonta Tank Davis, who's not the champion. Devin Haney's been the champion. He was a WBC champion, and Ryan Garcia is his mandatory. Now Devin Haney has all the belts. And the boxing world seems to be caring about these two guys not wanting to fight Devin Haney, but each other. Now, Ryan Garcia seems to see something in Gervonta Tank Davis because he knows Gervonta Tank Davis is shorter than him. He thinks he's not going to have the reach, and he has enough power to keep him off of him. Yeah, good. And Gervonta Tank Davis, most people think, well, Gervonta Tank Davis is going to catch up with him, whatever. But what I think the boxing community has to do is what you do to a woman who's awesome, right? Sometimes you just gotta ignore them. You might wake up their hunting instincts. Gervonta Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, whatever. That's what I'm trying to say here. Whatever with the fight. If that's what you want to do, cool with you guys. But neither one of you is trying to fight Devin Haney. So there shouldn't be so much ballyhoo about it. Just whatever. It's not a championship fight. Y'all gonna sell that on pay-per-view. Whatever. It ain't getting bought. Right? Because, they're obviously not fighting Devin Haney. I think that the boxing community and people that are watching the sport and the fans and the media, the belts are going to have to mean something. Right? Or makes no reason to watch it. If it's a popularity contest, we can go to a bar and your friend that against the dude that you don't like, and they fight, and you can put some money out and pay for that and watch that fight. Right? But when we're talking sport, which boxing should be, then there should be, hey, we have the very best, and we have the next in line, and this and this and this. Like every other sport we watch, at the end there's some kind of championship, right? And so the belts are the championship. And one person did a lot to get all of the damn belts, and it seems like no one wants them. Can you imagine that? I've said that in pretty much every video now when I'm talking about lightweights. It's, for me, Devin Haney and the rest. It's been that way for 2 years. Right? Devin Haney and the rest. There's not one lightweight who thinks they something that he hasn't openly tried to fight. Gervonta Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia is his mandatory, won't do it. Jojo Diaz, Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko, all of them he has openly tried to fight. And they all don't want to. Now, he's undisputed, and the boxing community is letting the other guys get away with never saying Devin Haney's name. Something is going on. I feel like a Stephen King movie or something. That the people are just like, well, what is going on? Is there a big meeting that I don't know about? Where everybody's just saying, hey, we're going to talk about these two dudes who don't want to fight the champion. Or we're going to boycott the 4 belts. It's somebody that's 23 years old that has all the belts, and we got the nerve to be talking about these other 2 dudes. Now, when he didn't have the belt and he got cheated out the belt by the sanctioning body, the WBC, they start calling him email champ. Right? And he had to say it the other day. First, I was the email champ, which I was never, the one with the franchise title. Lomachenko was the email champ. Teofimo Lopez was the email champ. Then Kambosos was the email champ. They celebrated the damn franchise title, which was just made up. But they call me the one who's trying to fight them all and have the real belt that's been legendary for damn near 100 years. I get called something derogatory, like email champ. Now I have all the belts, and now the belts don't matter. Now we're talking about people who's fighting for no belts. Just like we did with Canelo, right? He don't have to fight no damn Demetrius Andrade. We're just going to call him better. We think that he's done so much for boxing, right? So much for boxing, with no distance between his fights, with all the hard fights. What, no distance there. Doesn't have to readdress any of them, right? But he's the very best, right? It's getting to the point where it seems like people are hypnotized. People in the lightweight division, there's nobody that's important except for Devin Haney, or someone trying to fight Devin Haney. He has all of the belts, which renders the rest of them useless unless they're trying to fight him. Now, that's hard. I'm saying it's great fighters in the lightweight division, of course. We know that. Y'all know how I respect them all because they're all awesome. But we have to make sure they're held accountable. There should not be anything else going on, right? If Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney fight, and your boy Ryan Garcia fight, it's a secondary fight. Just like the secondary belt that Gervonta Davis has, and Ryan Garcia doesn't have one. He's a mandatory that doesn't want to fight the champion, right? He has to remain that. They will not even say his name. That's like Canelo will never say Andrade's name. Ever. Right? So those are what we have to focus on that. That's all I'm saying here. There's way too much talk about a secondary fight. We have to make sure we focus on that. That's all that fight is. Right? If anybody's coming to say anything else about Devin Haney, right? I will remind you what Devin Haney says. And it's profound. You will say everything, and the other fighters will say everything except, let's fight. And Devin Haney has proven that with not all the punching power in the world. I think both Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia have more punching power. There's tons of fighters that have more punching power that Canelo has faced than Demetrius Andrade, right? But he's never facing him. And the reason why Devin Haney, Demetrius Andrade, and Shakur Stevensons, those kind of fighters, can't get people to fight against them is because you will get embarrassed. And you will have nothing to say after the fight after that embarrassment. There's not no after the fighting them where you coming back, well, next time I could do better. That's not happening. That's why people don't want to see George Kambosos, who was supposed to be very good before the fight. Now he's not, after losing unceremoniously to Devin Haney. So what we have to do is just focus. If they're not calling Devin Haney's name in the lightweight division, and they're not like a new young prodigy, ignore them. And that way you can force them into fighting the real fights. Make sure when you're talking lightweight, Devin Haney is king, and the rest of them can do what the hell they want to do. If you start looking at it that way, you'll probably get the fights you want. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. And I'm about to hear y'all.